The Land Rover Freelander 2. It has lots going for it. A desirable badge, rugged good looks, and plenty of practicality. The tall body means it's very easy to get into. And here in the back, there's decent knee room and good headroom. Plus, because you can fold out the rear seat bases, when you put the backs down, as you see, they lie completely flat. It's pretty practical here in the front too. There's some useful cup holders there in the centre console and in the large side door bins. There's lots of adjustment in the steering wheel and of course in the driver's seat. Plus, all the buttons have a nice chunky feel to them. Needless to say, being a Land Rover, the Freelander 2 is brilliant off-road, which means you can take it green laning, which is what I'm doing now. It comes with something called terrain response, which lets you set up the four-wheel drive system for different conditions just by turning a dial on the centre console. And then when you reach the top of the hill and are faced with a scary decline such as this one, you needn't panic, because by pressing this button here, you can engage hill descent control, which automatically brakes the car to ensure you get down safely. But how many people take their off-roaders actually off-roading? Thankfully, the Freelander is really good on-road too. I mean, you sit very high up and that gives you a commanding view over all the traffic, and this plus the fabulous all-round visibility means that it's really easy to drive in town. It's also very relaxing on the open road too, because the compliant suspension means the ride's nice and comfy. However, I must point out that the steering feels a little bit vague, and overall the Freelander doesn't handle as sharply as a BMW X3. And that brings me on to the downsides, because while this Land Rover is nice and quiet at lower speeds, on the motorway the boxy, unaerodynamic shape means there's quite a bit of wind noise. Another problem is that some of the plastics you find lower down in the cabin don't feel as upmarket as you'd expect from a luxury brand. And then there's the boot. It's not particularly big for this class, and those intrusive wheel arches, well, they kind of get in the way. And finally, the Freelander 2 is pretty expensive to buy, especially when you compare it to its Asian rivals. That said, it's relatively inexpensive to run, and it will hold its value well come resale time, all thanks to that desirable Land Rover badge.